All right, what's going on, everybody? This is the Junk Car Lady coming at you. Look, today we're going to talk about how you can get working capital for your small business, leveraging and using balance transfers. All right. Now, you guys know that I'm definitely in the automotive industry. We recycle cars, we buy junk cars and all that good stuff. But there's been some people who have been asking, how can they get started in their business? Like maybe they're flipping cars or what have you. Now, the information I'm going to share with you is information that you can use in pretty much any business, that you want to start. But you're going to hear me reference the automotive business specifically, all right? Because I made this to help out my other automotive individuals, right? My other automotive teammates, if you will, right? People in the field. All right, now look, I'm going to be going in depth as far as showing you guys, a technique that I used, okay? And also the good, the bad, the ugly, the reality of using these balance transfers to fund your business, all right, to get some working capital for your business, all right? So with that being said, there's some things I need to kind of put out there to begin with, some disclaimers. First off, I got a whole bunch of notes, so I'm going to be reading from my page because I want to make sure I don't miss anything, all right? But getting back to it, guys, I want you to understand you need to do your own due diligence when you're trying any strategy, any method, and all that, right? You need to do your own due diligence. This is not going to be for everyone. What does that mean? Yeah, everybody can listen, right? You know what I mean? But it may not be suitable for you in your position. And I'm going to just go ahead and point out something real quick, because I know when I was actually learning about credit, there was some how should we say, misconceptions, if you will, behind using credit that I was brought up on, saying your mom or dad, said certain things about using credit or whatever. But I've learned, now that not everything that we were taught in the past about using credit was true, is what it is. Okay. So like I said, it doesn't matter where your mindset is. If you're like, man, I don't want to use my credit to, fund my business because I'm all about the cash, this, and that, and the third. Do your thing, Swoley. This is not the video for you. You feel me? So let's go ahead and jump into this thing. Now, like I said, this is not suitable for everyone. Now, who is this not suitable for? I want to be very specific on this, okay? If you're the type of person who does not like paying your bills on time, this isn't for you. No hard feelings, is what it is, right? Also, if you are the type of person who is not very organized with your finances, all right, keeping up with due dates, this is for you. It is what it is. Okay, move on. Now, the terms that I'm going to lay out for you as far as the credit card terms that I was given is just that. These are credit card terms that were offered to me. Keep in mind, the terms that you may get on your credit card may be different, okay? But I'm going to show you how you can find some different credit cards, credit card offers that may be suitable for you. But it doesn't mean you're going to get the terms that I got. Your terms may be better. I hope your terms are better. You feel me? All right, so now first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can find some of these credit cards, all right? I'm going to just show you an example. So let me share my screen with you. And boom. All right. All I did was I typed in balance transfer offers. Okay, you can type that in. This is just one that came up. I actually was given this offer personally, okay, on one of my city cards. However, like I said, this is just an example. All right. So on this particular one, you're looking at 0% APR for the balance transfers for 21 months. I like to have it where the balance transfer offers are at least 12 months. Okay, that's just my preference. Not all of them are going to give you the same amount of time, but this is just how you can find them just searching. All right, this is just one of them. All right, 0% interest, 21 for 21 months. Okay, this is for the balance transfer offer, and I'm going to tell you some things that you want to ask. All right, about this offer or about any offer. Okay, some things that I asked. I'll put it that way. You ask what you want. I'm gonna tell you some things that I asked because I wanted to make a very informed decision, okay? Also, keep a note, all right, the APR that it might be after the fact, all right, once that promo is up. Now, this is one thing that's going to hang some of you guys up, is what it is, all right? It doesn't hang me up, right? But you do want to be aware of it, of what the APR is after the fact. Now, again, your credit may be better, okay? I hope it is. When I first got my first balance transfer offer, all right, allowing me to actually use the balance transfer checks, like for the example I'm going to show you guys, I was in the 600s. Okay, so it is what it is. Okay, your credit may be in the 700s, your credit may be in the fives. I'm not going to tell you whether you are or are not going to get approved. I can't tell you that. right? But I'm going to tell you, you don't have to have perfect credit. I can tell you that beyond a shadow of a doubt. I don't have perfect credit, right? Didn't have perfect credit when I got the offer. Okay. All right, it's gotten better now though, because I learned some things. But anyway, all right, but I just wanted to show you guys where you can find some of these offers online. All right, now check out my screen here, and don't worry, guys, you don't have to worry about trying to write all of this stuff down. What I decided to do is I'm actually going to give you guys my notes, like all these notes right here. It's going to be down in the description, so just follow along. Now, here's some of the things that I wanted to consider, before using a balance transfer offer, okay, using those balance transfer checks that you get. All right. And we're going to talk a little bit about the balance transfer checks so you understand what I'm talking about. Because honestly, I didn't know what they were for a while. Like, pretty much, I only knew what they were like in the last like 5 years. Like, seriously, I didn't even know what those little checks were. All right. So anyway, here's some things that I consider. I want to know, what is the introductory rate? Okay, so I'm looking for a balance transfer offer that has an introductory rate of a 0% APR. That's what I'm looking for. All right, that means 0% APR interest. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Now, all of these questions you're going to actually ask the credit card company. Okay, you're going to call them up and you want to ask, right? Because you want to know what's what, right? You want to be informed. Number two, what's the length of the term? Now, I've seen some vary anywhere from 9 months on to the highest one I saw was 21 months. Does that mean the highest is 21 months? No, it does not mean that. Okay, it means that that's what I've seen. So the highest one that I've been offered was 21 months. I'll put it that way. That was the highest one I've been offered was 21 months. So that's why I put 21 months. Because remember, this is an example that was actually offered for me. Okay, this is one that was offered for me. All right, so let the term 21 months, but you want to know the answers to these things before you decide to do something. Okay. All right, number three, how long do I have to actually initiate the transfer? All right, because you'll get a balance transfer offer and it'll be like, well, you can use it, but you got to use it by the end of the month or something like that, right? Or it might be like you got to use it, within 2 months. You just want to be aware, all right, of how long you have that you can use it, meaning the amount of time that you have before you actually have to do the balance transfer to get the money, all right, that you're going to use to be able to infuse some cash into your business, right? In my case, I had 2 weeks left. All right, for me. That's plenty enough time for me to decide if I'm going to use it. Not honestly, I can make a decision like the hour. You know what I mean? I mean less than an hour, because I like all of these numbers for me. But hey, take all the time you need for whatever decision you want to make. All right. Also, is there a prepayment penalty? Now, I don't know if any credit cards have a prepayment penalty. I don't know. Okay, I asked because I wanted to know. Right. So in my case, no. Prepayment penalty is like if you're going to pay it off early, right? If you're going to pay it off early, you want to know, is the credit card company going to penalize you for doing that? Okay. Or any loan company that you're, getting this money from. But in this case, we're talking about using the balance transfer checks to do that. Right. So I wanted to know. I didn't know. So the first time I did, I didn't know. So I asked. The answer for me was no. All right, that there was not a prepayment penalty. Now, the one that I'm showing you guys, like I said, I've received more than one, but I say the most favorable one, I guess favorable in terms or whatever, was Navy Federal Credit Union. Okay, but I also received one from Citi as well. Okay, and one from Chase too. But anyway, and one from Discover. But the point of the matter is, let's keep it rocking. All right. Number 5. Now this is important. All right, this is important. Okay, for me. All right. And so you need to ask, because it doing what I'm telling you to do, or what I'm showing you that I did anyway, excuse me. This is going to be an important question for you to ask. Can I transfer the balance money into my own checking account? Because think about it. All right. Why are you even using the balance transfer method anyway to get money for your small business? Okay. And in this case, like I said, I'm talking about, like if you flipping cars or you're a car dealer, right? We're talking about the car industry. That's specifically what I'm talking about in this case, right? Because typically and I say typically because that doesn't mean that's the case for every place, but typically when you buy cars, you buy with cash. All right. So that's why it matters. I want to know, am I going to be able to get the money off of that card? All right. Off of that credit card. Okay. That I'm taking advantage of this offer with. Am I going to be able to get that into my checking account so I can buy some cars? Okay. All right. So you want to know. You want to know ahead of time. Right. Now, are there some cards that don't allow you to put into your checking account? Probably. Just ask. But in my case, I was able to put into my checking account, and with it not counting as a cash advance fee. Okay, this is why I said I'm going to put this stuff down in the description for you guys, so you can kind of use that checklist and add to it if you want to, when you're calling asking, about the offer that you've been sent. Okay, I wanted to make sure that it's not going to count as a cash advance, okay? Because a cash advance has different fees, all right? I don't have a problem with cash advance fees, all right? They're all numbers to me. But I want to know what I'm dealing with. I just want to know what I'm dealing with, all right? So in my case, I could transfer it to my checking account and it not count as a cash advance fee in my case, all right? What's the balance transfer fee, all right? Because some of the offers, a lot of the offers, not all, but a lot of offers I received did have a balance transfer fee. That's like an initial fee that you pay for however much you're going to transfer over. So, if you're going to transfer over, let's just say, all right, you're going to use 5,000, right? Which is more than enough to get you started, something. Because this is, keep in mind, guys, this is just to kind of give you that initial, you know what I'm saying, into your business. I'm not talking about using it. Now, whether you use it this way or not, it's up to you. But I'm not talking about using this like ongoing line of credit type situation, right? Because this thing do expire at some point, you feel me? Right? So I'm talking about like that initial, like, you know what I mean? Get up in there, to get some things going in your business, all right? So let's say you have like 5,000, but you're going to use 5,000, right? And let's say it has a transfer fee, a balance transfer fee of 5%, all right? All right, I know y'all like numbers. I know I like numbers too. So let's say you got 5,000, right? An initial balance transfer fee of 5%. That's times 0.05. That's 5% cut. All right, 250, right? That means you're going to be paying back. The initial balance transfer fee is going to cost you 250. All right, they're going to tack that on to the total. All right, so it's not like you got to come out your pocket 250, right? But the point of the matter is, you want to know how much, if I use that 5,000, right, and hold it, how much am I going to have to pay these people back? Okay, so 250, right? In this particular case, right, if it's 5%. Now, I've had an offer that was 5%. 5% is the highest that I've had. Does that mean that's the highest that they go? No. Okay. All right. You got to find out the terms for yours, but I'm giving you an example that is real to me. Okay. That's why this is not financial advice. This is what's real to me. Okay. I've also had offer that was 0%. Like, I think Navy Federal Credit Union actually had 0% balance transfer fee. All right. They actually, at the time that they offered it to me, I'm not saying that's what they're going to offer you. Sorry for you. Right. But at the time they offered it to me, it was 0% balance transfer fee. Okay. That was sweet. I was like, I had to ask them twice and I didn't even know a lot because I didn't expect that. I was still kind of new with Navy Federal Credit Union, you know what I'm saying? I didn't expect that. I was like, so you saying is 0% balance transfer fee? And they was like, yeah. I was like, all right. Right. So anyway, you want to know that. Now, next, number 7. If I don't pay the total balance in full by the time the promo ends, will I be paying interest starting from the date I made the transaction itself? Or will the interest start, not start accruing until after the promo period ends? It matters. It matters. Okay. Because you want to know basically, like, if you go ahead and do this balance transfer offer to get that cash, right? So that you can have some working capital in your business, right? What if you don't pay it off by the promo period? Right? If the promo period 12 months or 21 months in this case, right? 21 months, right? What if you don't pay it off by 21 months for whatever reason, right? It's your life, right? For whatever reason, right? Then you want to know, let's say you took it out on month 1, right? You want to know, man, does that interest add up from month 1 to 2 to 3 all the way to 21? Now, at the end, you got this big old whopping interest. You want to know, right? I asked. All right. The things that I'm telling you guys on here are things that are, specific to me, but I asked the question, right? I did not make assumptions. I don't care what nobody else told me it was, right? Because when you are getting a credit card or any type of line of credit or, any loan, you are liable for that. Okay. So even though I had done some research and I had found videos, just like you found this video and everything, I still asked that company. Right, specifically, okay, because I wanted to know, because I want to make sure that I'm paying these people back, okay, so I asked that question, you asked, okay, all right, now next one, 8 is, now this is important, guys, this is important, man, I don't care I don't care what you're doing, where you get the money from. If you're using this video and say, hey, I'm gonna try this out and do the you know what I'm saying, do the balance transfer, use the balance transfer checks, whatever, you still need to know this, man. Is my business model viable to be able to repay this car off in full before the end of the promo? You know that. And now, as far as me, because like I said, I'm making this video for the automotive industry, even though it can work for, you know, any business that you decide to use it for. The point of the matter is it a viable business model? Yes, it is for me, with the way that I buy cars. Okay, with the way that I buy cars, okay, it is viable for me. All right, and when I say viable, means when I show you these numbers, because I'm gonna show you, you know, example of repay schedule that I did, okay, that I set up for myself. Okay, all right, so you can decide what you want to do, but I'm gonna show you mine. All right, so you want to see, is it viable for you? Like, are you gonna be able to make them payments, man? Okay, you gonna be able to make them payments every month? Is you gonna have it paid off by the end of the term, whether it's 12 months or 21 months? Is it viable for that to happen? Now, maybe something that might not be viable, not saying it's not, but maybe if you're selling, I don't know, lollipops for $1, you know what I mean? And maybe if you don't got that many people buying lollipops, you know, maybe that won't be viable for you, right? To be able to pay it off in time, okay? Just keeping it a buck. But with automotive, you know, the way that I buy cars, it was viable for me, okay, because the margins are good. You know, I mean, I'm making more than $1 when I'm selling the car. You know what I mean? That's just what that is, okay? So you want to make sure it's viable for you to be able to pay it off by the end of the promo period. Next, is my business model viable to pay the monthly that I set up on a schedule? And we're not talking about the minimum monthly payment. I'm gonna show y'all that. All right. But we're not talking about no minimum monthly payment, okay? We ain't getting caught in that trick bag, right? That's a trick bag right there when you just making the minimum monthly payment. You ain't gonna have that thing paid off, right? And then that interest gonna be like boom, boom, body blow, boo, boo. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be dinging you upside the head. Well, we ain't even trying to go that route, right? We're not trying to get beamed all upside the head. All right. Number 10, if for some reason my business doesn't work out the way that I expect, right? Because a business venture is still an investment. You know what I'm saying? And there's no guarantees. Death is guaranteed, but you understand what I'm saying? No guarantees in business, right? So if for some reason my business does not work out financially the way that I expect it to, do I have a backup plan to repay this monthly, right? Plus to be able to pay in full before the end of the promo? Yes. Here are some examples of what you could do. You could do Uber, you could do DoorDash, you could get you a second job, and you could do some type of freelance work. All right. So you have to know, this is my recommendation for you anyway, for you to know what your exit strategy is in the event that your business plan go belly up. Okay. What can you reasonably do to be able to make that pay that money back, right? Or make that payment, you know what I'm saying, every month that you have set your schedule up for. Okay. Now, like I said, just in my area, you know, where I'm at, all of these are options right here. You know, freelance for me, I have a background in automotive, right? So freelance could be, you know, fix some cars, for example. You know what I'm saying? That could be one, right? And if you guys ever paid a mechanic, I know you did, you know, that's viable. You can make some bread if that's what you so choose to do. You could drive Uber, DoorDash, right? And you don't pretty much need no skill set for that. Or you can get a second job, you know, you can babysit, whatever you need to do. Me personally, when I made a decision to use the balance transfer checks to infuse some cash to my business, right? When I made the decision to do that, all right, I personally, you know, was willing to do whatever was necessary, you know, to make sure that I could pay that debt. It is what it is, right? So it wasn't anything that was off limits for me other than breaking the law or doing some immoral shit. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I have enough skill set to where I ain't gonna have to break no law and I ain't gonna have to do no immoral stuff. Okay. All right. But you gotta know what your backup plan is. Okay. So, but also keep in mind, as I'm saying this, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, right? So I know how to make $1 out of 10 cents. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Don't be out there doing something you ain't got a backup plan, and you know, it is what it is. All right. And number 11, because I know some people who, do credit repair or something, gonna be jumping on my video talking crazy, right? Number 11, I'm just gonna put this out there. We're not gonna talk about credit repair or anything like that, but I'm putting this out there. I had to ask myself, am I concerned with the credit utilization rate? Okay, now if you don't know what that is, you need to watch some videos on credit repair. Okay, so that way you get a full understanding is what I'm saying, right? But in a basic sense of it, it's like, how much credit do you have available to you and how much are you using? There's different percentages different people use. Some people say don't use more than 1%. Some people say don't use more than 3%. Some articles will tell you don't use more than 30%. Whatever you decide, okay? I'm not here to tell you what percentage that is. But I did have to ask myself this question. Am I concerned with this? And if I am, right, then make sure that I use less of the amount that's available to me. So like, let's say if I had $10,000 available to me, right? Was I going to use, right? If I wanted to stay within 30%, right, then I'm not going to use no more than $3,000 at a time, right? If that's what I was going to do. Okay. Now, me personally, and once again, everything up here is my list of things that I looked at and my numbers that was offered to me and how I made my decision. How you make your decision is how you make your decision. Because guess what? You're the only one got to pay this back, right? But you also the only one going to profit off of it too. You're not sending me no profits. I mean, are you? I mean, shit, I'll send you my cash app if you want to send me some profits. But anyway, me personally, when I was using the balance transfer check, all right, I was not concerned about my credit utilization at that time. Okay, but here's why. Okay, because I want to qualify this. Here's why, right? Because I understand my business model, right? I don't do, like, if I get a car, right? If I get a car, some people, they get a car and let's say the car might be worth 5,000, right? So they gonna price it at 5,000, right? Or whatever, right? And they may not be willing to accept no less than like 4,500. They like, man, I know what I got. Not gonna accept a dime less than 4,500, right? So okay, cool. You might, get it. You might sit on the vehicle a little bit longer. Is what it is, right? Just saying, the vehicle market is hot right now, so they might not sit on it. But that's just not my business model. My business model is to get the vehicle at the price that I need to get it at, and the repairs at the price I need to get it at. All right, and keep in mind, I can buy real knowledge. Knowledgeably is not even a word, but you understand, I have knowledge when I'm buying because I do have a mechanical background. But the point I'm saying is that I can turn something over quick, because remember, I'm the junk car lady, right? So I can turn something over for scrap, right? I can turn something over for scrap in about 24 to 48 hours. You see what I'm saying? If that's what I need to do, okay, or if that's what I choose to do, right? So therefore, my point is that I don't necessarily have to hold this money for a month, right? Because typically, you could probably flip a car in, maybe a month, depending on what you got going on. Obviously, some people flip it in 2 weeks, some people flip it in a week, because like I said, the car market is hot right now. But the point of the matter is, you got to understand your business model. For me, I wasn't worried about the utilization rate, right? Because I know I can get up out of that deal quick enough. You see what I'm saying? To where before that thing even report talking about you at some, 30% or 50% or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm already out that deal going, let me go on and pay that back right quick. Okay? So just keep that in mind. It's all about your business model and what matters to you. Okay. And I also let you on another little thing too, because it's important for you to understand my thought process as I'm giving you this information. Why? Because my thought process may not be yours, and that's okay. But I want you to understand so you understand where I'm coming from, because if your process is different, your thought process is different, then you may want to rethink, should I do this, should I not? You see what I'm saying? My thought process is this. I don't get credit just to say that I got credit. I don't get credit just to have some, be able to put a post on Facebook like, oh, I got $10,000 credit limit, I got $20,000 credit limit, I got 30,000, right? That don't mean nothing to me. If I can't use this money to make more money, right? What's the purpose of it? Right? I'm not out here trying to dang on win no awards and having the most credit available to me if I'm not using it to make me some money, right? I'm all about the flip, right? That's just my process. Yours may be different, so keep that in mind. All right, now let's move on. Remember I told you about the balance transfer checks, right? Okay. basically, and I tried to find an example of one online, and I don't know why I didn't find an example of one, but basically some of the credit card companies, when they give you a balance transfer offer, they will give you these checks. They literally, they look just like a check, like they are a check, like for real, right? And some of them will allow you to be able to make that check out to yourself, which means they'll put the money into your bank account. Remember, that was one of the questions. All right, that was one of the questions right here. Number 5. Okay, that was one of the questions that you want to ask, right? So that's a balance transfer checks. Do all credit cards have balance transfer checks? No. How can I say that beyond a shadow of a doubt? Because I got some credit cards that don't have no balance transfer checks. They ain't send me none. And I asked them, say, hey, do I get any balance transfer checks? They said, no, you don't get none, right? So I can say that beyond a shadow of a doubt that not all of them have a balance transfer check, okay? So this is just what you want to ask, because once again, we're looking for the balance transfer offers, all right? Because we're looking at the fact that we're going to be able to pull that money off, right? Pull that money off, okay? And turn it into cash, right? Turn it into cash. So that way we can use that as a working capital in our business. And in this case, we're talking about our automotive business. All right. All right. So let's look at some numbers real quick. Let's go ahead and look at this here calculator here. Okay. So let's say you get approved for a card for, 20,000, 10,000, 5,000, whatever the case may be. Right. But let's say the amount that you want to actually pull off. Okay. Let's say the amount that you want to have accessible to you in cash. Okay. Let's say that amount right there is 5,000 that you want to have accessible to you. Your balance, your limit, that you can pull, maybe 20,000, it may be 50, maybe whatever you got approved for, right? But we're just going to use an example of what if you pulled out 5,000, you wanted 5,000. Now, obviously your credit limit need to be more than 5,000 because, they're going to tack the fee on top of it, right? And in this case, we're using 5% at $250, right? And this is just an example. Like I said, I do have a card that did 0%, which is Navy Federal, had one at 5%. I think the city one was at 5% balance transfer fee. I forgot what Discover was, but the point of the matter is we're going to use this number right here. So you say, okay, all right. And let's say these jokers, they decide to give you 21 months to pay it back. So you're like, okay. So that means I got 21 months to pay it back, right? And this is math, and I know some people get that out the way. 5,250, right, is what we at, meaning that's the whole amount we're gonna be done paid back, including, all right, any charges and fees, okay? Any charges and fees. Excuse me. Now, and let's say we got 21 months, right? Now, this is how I do, okay? If they're giving me 21 months to pay back, all right, then I'm not going to count it as 21 months. I'm going to count it as 2 months shy, right? I'm going to count it as 19. Now you say, well, why are you going to count it as 19 when they give you 21? This is what I do. You do what you do. Why do I do that? Because I want that grace period, right? Meaning, not grace period. I don't want to use that term because y'all will get the wrong idea. I want to have a 2-month buffer just in case something go wrong. Right, and with my business, right? Some things don't pan out the way I want them to pan out. If I've been keeping up with this payment schedule that I'm about to show you here, then I'm way ahead of the game, right? I want to pay them all back before it's due. Okay, that's why I would do 19 months instead of 21, right? So if they gave me 12 months, right, I shaved 2 off, and I'm gonna do my numbers as if I only got 10 months. All right, but you do what you're gonna do, but this is why I do what I do. So we're gonna divide that by 19. So in this case, it's 276.31. Let's just round it to 280. Let's just round it to 280, right? So what does this mean for me? At 280, we're gonna do this right. We're gonna put the 280, right? At 280 a month. What does that mean for me? That means, regardless of what, if I took out 5,000, okay, if I took out 5,000 from these folks, right, that I need to be paying at least 280 a month. And you say, well, D, is the minimum payment 280? No, the minimum payment is not 280. I don't know how much minimum payment is, but it's not 280. Not on the 5,000. It's less, is my point. Okay, it's less than 280. Right? Okay, the minimum payment is going to be something low. But remember, I told you, we're not just making the minimum payment. Okay, we're not making a minimum payment. We in this to win this. We in this to win this, baby. All right, I like that. We're in this to win this. So if I make $280 a month, pay at least $280 a month, right? Notice I said at least, okay, right? For 19 months, I'll be done paid back, obviously, a little bit more. But the point of the matter is, you're going to be done after you pay them back all their money, right? So $280 a month. So then that's where it came into the viability of, am I going to make more than $280 a month, right? Because that's not $280 in interest, okay? We just worked that out. I just want to make sure y'all follow me now. Remember, 5,000 times that fee, that 5% fee, all right, was $250. So then we just do the 5,000 plus $250. All right. This is how much you're gonna pay them jokers back. $5,250. All right. If you're making, okay, that's if you're making your payment on time, right? You gotta make the payment on time, right? Every month, because you still gotta pay these people a payment every month, right? That's if you're paying them every month, you're paying them on time. And in my case, my recommendation, like I said, I'm doing $280 a month. Okay, $280 a month. That way I ain't getting behind. I'm actually ahead of the game. And I can keep on using the money, and everything, and keep on making it do what it do. But still, at the end of that, I want you to understand it, because this is where some people get off. Like, man, I'm paying them $280 a month. Man, I be done paid them back $10,000. Bro, I just did the math for you. Like, it's 5,000 plus 250, like 5,250. All right, you took 5,000, or I took 5,000. I'm gonna pay them back a total of 5,250. As long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Okay, I'm paying them jokers every time on time, every month. Okay, and in this case, $280 a month. Now let's get down to how you can use this money. I want to keep this number up here real quick for a minute though, because I need you to understand this part. See, numbers sometimes confuse people, and I get it. I'm not even tripping, man. I didn't know this until I knew it, and I had to write it down and understand it myself, But numbers can throw you off sometimes, all right? And it'll trick you out your position if you don't understand them. So let's go up here, and let's use an example. I got one up here. Let's say you find your car right now. This is just a generic photo. Okay, so I don't even know what that is. But anyway, you find your car. Let's say you get the car for $1,000 because it needs some work. Okay, let's say the repairs gonna cost you $1,000, right? So you got $2,000 into the car. Now remember, we working with $5,000, right? We're working with $5,000. Okay, so you got $2,000 into the car, right? Let's say you're gonna sell the car for $3,000. All right, now I'm not talking about what you're gonna price the car at. I already told you how I price mine. You price them how you want, right? I price mine to sell quick. So if a car, let's say if I sell this car at $3,000, 9 times 10 is worth 4 or better, right? That's just how I rock. All right. I'm not trying to sit on nothing. All right. I want shit going in the first week. I want to go before I even then gonna get it, but you understand, right? So in this case, you'll have $1,000 profit. Okay. In this particular example, this is just an example. Okay. All right, this is just an example. All right. Now, obviously, how much you pay for cars is going to be dependent upon you finding the right cars. How much you spend on repairs is going to be dependent upon you finding the right cars, right? Because I do not do the repairs myself. Okay. And even if I do, it'd be something small and I still pay myself. Okay. So just keep that in mind. When I'm counting my repairs, it's repairs. Like if somebody I don't work for free. Okay. I don't work for free, and the mechanic I use don't work for free. So if I got to do the repairs myself, I pay myself same way as I have to pay him. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So these are true numbers here. I don't need to fluff and trick myself, right? So let's say you got $1,000 profit. Now, mind you, this is what I told you. In total, you're gonna pay these people back. In total, okay, what you're gonna pay your credit card back. All right. Now, I told you for me, I would set up my payments at $280 a month. Okay, that's what I'm be, doling out, right? So let's say I got $1,000 profit, and guess what? That means that first $280, I'm gonna make sure that I got that in the bag, right? Because I want to keep on using their money. I want to, I took out the 5,000, right? You know what I mean? Now, obviously, you could pay everything back. Let's say, what if you paid everything back right now? Because you still got the rest of this money. You didn't spend the whole money. Remember, you only spent $2,000 expenses, so you got the rest of the money. Right? You basically just made $1,000 off of their money. Like, let's say you I just want to do one deal. One and I'm done. right? Cool, right? You basically, right? You basically got this $1,000 profit. And you can go to people and say, man, I'm paying everything. I'm paying the whole. I know y'all told me I got 21 months. And I know it's the first month. I'm going to give you everything back. Now, remember them questions I told you to ask, though, right? About that prepayment penalty, right? Remember that? Right? To make sure you don't got one. Okay? Remember I told you to ask that. This is why. Okay? If you decide anytime you want to pay it off earlier, right? You want to make sure you don't have no prepayment penalty. This is why you ask this stuff ahead of time. Okay? See what I'm saying? I make sure I ask. So in the event, I say I want to pay these jokers off, then what have I made off of this particular one deal? Okay? Then I would have made $1,000 profit minus the $250, which is what it cost me to hold their money, right? Minus the $250, so we at $750, right? Now, personally, if I'm using their money in this particular type of venture, personally, I'm gonna keep using their money, right? I mean, and I'm gonna keep using it, for some months on end. If I got 21 months, I told you 19 months, right? I'm gonna keep on flippity flip, right? I'm not just using it for one and done personally. But can I? Yes, I would have just made $750 off their money. Their money, not my money. Their money. Thank you. Appreciate you. Right? Anyway, let's go on. So let's say you do, you know what I mean? And if you are a car dealer, man, you're doing more than one of these in a month, hopefully. But anyway, let's say you just do 2 of these in a month. Let's just say you do 2, man. You know what I mean? Do what you do. Right? Just say you do 2. Right? 2 of these same, similar situations where you make $1,000 profit, right? Because once you get this money back, you all whole again, right? You're like, shit, I want to find another one, right? Boom. Now you do it again. Now you go ahead. This time, we just change the number here, right? This time, now you had a total of 2,000 profit. We're gonna move it over here, right? Because you done did it twice, right? You done did this twice. All right. Now you had a time where you had 2,000 profit. But even though you done made $2,000 profit in that month, okay, because you did 2 in a month, okay, and like I said, dealers do more than that, but you understand what I'm saying. Let's say you do 2 in a month, right? You done made $2,000 profit, but when you pay these people their money back, how much total will you have paid them? If you're making your monthly payments, okay, on time, okay, because some of these places, if you don't pay these jokers on time, then they will have a higher interest rate and all this, and you be like, man, I thought it was 0%. Look, you better ask, right? I asked, but I make sure that I set my alarm page people on time, okay? Set up auto pay, okay? All right, I need for my 0% interest to last the whole time that I need to last for that they told me I can get it. So I pay on time, okay? But the point of the matter is, you made $2,000 profit. You paid these, you still only paying them back the same what you're supposed to pay them back. In this case, 5,000 plus 250 is 5,250. So what would that actually mean for you? That would mean that you made 2,000 profit minus their 250, right? So that's what's that, 1,750? Yeah, 1,750. That means you would have actually made 1,750 in that month off of their money, right? So you just keep doing it for however many times you want to do it. I don't care if you want to do it one time or you want to do it multiple times, but you get the point, right? This is why doing the balance transfer checks is a viable option, okay? It may not be the conventional option that you thought about. It is what it is. It wasn't a conventional option I thought about. I had been receiving balance transfer checks before with credit cards. I didn't even know what it was for. One of my colleagues on Facebook actually told me. They said, yeah, that's a sport. I said, what? I said, so I can just get the money. They told me, and then I called and verified. You see what I'm saying? They told me, they're like, yeah, you get the money check. I said, what? I get the money my check? Yeah. And I said, okay, all right. I see now. Like I said, I called and verified. You need to call and do your own due diligence. Don't just be listening to people on YouTube and Facebook. All right, you need to call, do your due diligence. Once somebody does say something, you call and see if it's relevant to you. If it's not relevant to you, then don't do it. Okay. But you get the idea of how this could go on, and this is a viable way. Whether you're going to use it for the 5,000, whether you're going to use it for 10,000, 20,000, whatever the case may be. All right, it's all up to you. But using these guidelines, okay, guys, using these guidelines, which I will put down below in the description. All right, now we ain't done yet. I want to talk about something here. I want to talk about the good of this. What's good about it? We're going to talk about what's bad about it, and we're going to talk about the reality. Okay? It's important. I told y'all to stick to the end. I didn't tell you that was going to be no short video. Okay? But this is important. These are the things that I consider. Okay? The good, the bad, and reality. All right, so look here. Look here on the screen. All right, the good. Well, here's something that's positive about it. All right, like why would you want to use the balance transfer checks to, get working capital for your car flipping business or your dealership business, car dealership business? Okay, all right. Here's why. All right. Now, a lot of times you're not able to just go out and buy cars with credit cards. Okay, can you in some cases? Yes. A lot of cases, no. Especially if you're buying from private party. You find a good deal, on Craigslist or something like that. I don't know about you, but somebody go to Miss Sally Sue. Miss Sally Sue got this car. It needs some work. She willing to sell for $1,000. Miss Sally Sue not taking your credit card. She's like, you better bring me cash and get up out of here, right? So a lot of times with cars, you're not able to just pay for the car with a credit card. All right. So this is one reason that it's good to use this method if everything else lines up for you. Okay. All right. Or any business for that matter that requires cash for the purchase versus credit card. And there are plenty of businesses like that. Okay. Now, here's the other thing. Why credit cards? What's the good about it? You may be able to get approved for a credit card with less friction than if you went into a bank and said, can I get a line of credit? Right. And like I said, I didn't have perfect credit when I was able to get approved for a credit card, not just a credit card, but the balance transfer offer that has the checks with it. Okay. I didn't have perfect credit, right? You know what I'm saying? But I did need a higher credit score if I was going to be able to get a line of credit from a bank. Okay. So that's a little bit different. So you may be able to get a credit card balance transfer offer a little bit easier. All right. Also too, especially when you're dealing with, floor plans, for car dealers, what I'm saying? This may allow you to be able to get it with less friction. Some of those floor plans, you might need to have a 700 or something credit score. I don't know. All right. So this is why this is a viable option for you. Okay. Now, why else credit cards? Now, obviously not obviously, I'll just tell you. What I'm laying out to you guys using the balance transfer offers is with an unsecured credit card. Okay. That means it's not attached to any collateral. Like if you're a car dealer and you go and you want to get a loan or a line of credit on something, typically, not saying always, but typically it'll be attached to some type of collateral, which is typically the car itself. Okay. The car itself. With the credit card is unsecured. At least the way that I'm talking about is unsecured. So it's not attached to any collateral. Okay. So you don't actually need collateral, to be able to get that credit card. Now let's talk about the bad. Okay. The bad, if you have less than perfect credit, like myself, right? When I had less than perfect credit, right? Then the APR after the promo period, okay? After the promo period, all right? APR after the promo period may be high. It might be like in the 29% range. All right. Like most of the cards was like, they might have was a 29%, but they was in the 20s. Now, Davis Federal Credit Union was lower, which is great. But it's based upon your credit worthiness though. Okay. It's based upon your credit application. Okay. Whatever they decide. But I'm just letting you know that if your credit is not the greatest, your APR after the promo period ends, like if it's a 12-month promotional period, then after that, it's going to go to what it go to. Like, remember I showed you over here on the city? It said after, okay? After that, meaning after this 21-month promo period, all right? After that, okay? Then it says it goes to anywhere from 1674 to 27.49%. Okay. So you just want to keep that in mind as well. Now keep in mind, this right here is just something I found on the internet. I'm not saying this is a particular offer for anybody, but if you find on the internet, then you reach out to the city if that's what you choose to do. All right. But I wanted to bring that up. Now we're not going to get into how you how you work with higher interest credit cards and basically be able to do the same thing or whatever. We're not going to get into that. I just wanted to make sure that you understood, okay, that this is something that you're looking at. Okay, so you want to keep that in mind. All right, after that promo period, if you decide, you ain't pay that money back, you know what I'm saying, and you still running a tab, don't be up there crying that interest hit you all up in the head, right? Don't be caught off guard. Ask them people. As a matter of fact, one of the questions, I'm gonna make sure I include that on my list. I'm gonna include that on my list that's down below, is ask what is the APR after the promo period? Because I did ask that. Okay, I did ask that. What is the promo period what is the APR after the promo period? Okay, I did ask that. Even though I knew it wasn't likely that I would need to be involved in having that much out once that interest hit, but I still need to know because shit happens, right? And then the reality, okay? The reality, you still must make your monthly payments according to the credit card agreement that you signed, okay? You still must make your monthly payments. This is not, no, you have the money out for 12 months, 21 months, and you ain't making no payment. Nah. You gonna really get caught up in the trick bag, right? You still must make your monthly payments, okay? On time, according to the agreement that's laid out for you, okay, that you signed, okay? Like the example I gave you guys, for me, I know the minimum payment would not be more than any 280. It wouldn't be no 280, okay? All right. However, me making 280 for this example, me making 280 a month will put me way ahead of the game, right? But you want to be aware of that because the reality is you still need to pay that every month. All right. So what that boils down to is like this. It's like if you like, what if I don't make 280 that month, or I don't know how to come up with 280 that month, for example, we're just using this example or whatever, you might need to think about not doing none of these, just being honest with you, right? I mean, I can't tell you everything. I can tell you how to have them make money, right? If you ain't at that stage where you're willing to do whatever the hell you got to do, that's not immoral and not illegal. Okay, like some of the things I talked about, Uber, whatever, to pay these people their money back, then this might not be for you. Just keeping it a buck, might not be for you. It is what it is. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Don't make you a bad person. I'm just, letting you know that that's not the person I am, right? I can make it do what it do, right? So I wasn't worried about, not being able to pay these people their money every month, personally. But if you are, put a pause on it. Go seek you some financial advice because I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm letting you know what was presented to me and what I was able to do. Okay. So this is the reality right here. All right. So hopefully you found this valuable on how can I get working capital for my small business with balance transfers, all right, and specifically dealing with the car industry. If you found some value, give me the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and put down in the comments and let me know if you have any questions. If I can answer them, I will. If I can't, I'm going to tell you, go get you a financial advisor. I'm going to be real with you, right? And don't forget, guys, if you happen to be in the Raleigh, North Carolina area or anywhere in Wake County in the North Carolina area, and you want to get rid of your vehicle, because we buy junk cars, whether they run or not, we buy them. Check us out at thejunkcarlady.com down below. And I'll see y'all on the next one. And we out.